If you ain't talking money, then I don't want to talk.
Still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them. Tell them still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them. Tell them still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them. Tell them still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them.
Welcome to another late edition to the We-On-Loc Nation channel. This is a crazy. This has been a crazy 3 weeks, and we have not yet scratched the surface of the Carmelo Anthony story. Most of us would have been moved on by now, but since, and I'm gonna be honest with you, since I've heard all types of ignorant ass black folks want to crucify this man, and I know why they want to do it. It's because they say it's the right thing. Because I mean, if you did the crime, you got to do the time. Oh, it's not that simple. In the Constitution, you're innocent until proven guilty. He hasn't been proven guilty yet. And even if he was guilty, is he still my brother's keeper? Yes, he is. He's just going to have to learn a long lesson. But we hold on so dear to what is, I'm just going to sound crazy. It's not there. You get along to get along with people who don't have your best interests at heart. No, white folks don't love you like that. They don't like you like that. You're just getting along to get along. And I guarantee you, if it was you, you'll be yelling to black folks, support me, support me, support me. And then we're going to just look down at you and say, support who? You're the one that was agreeing to a white man getting on a panel and calling you the worst of the worst names in the book, which sticks and stones break the bones, words never hurt you, but we all know who you are. You know what I mean? Uh, Sharon Bracey, I was on Sharon Bracey's show, and I asked Sharon, I said, why would you even want to waste your time having a discussion with a bunch of people who just don't give a fuck? I can't even find the words to say. But I mean, all truth, people want to prove that they are logical. People want to prove that they can live in a different type of a world, a different type of systemic world, a different type of a situation, and they believe that they can fight with all these vocabulary words that most cats don't care about. It just, they simply do not care. How do I know? Because 1 minute you can have a conversation and it goes by fast within 2 to 3 minutes. After 2 to 3 minutes, here come the insults. Here come this, here come that, here come the, you did it to me, so I got to do it to you. Blah, 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 blah. Well, that happened to Sharon. Now, Sharon, I have to say, Sharon is trying hard to get his black card back. He got his black card last night when he told Angry Man that he is more blacker than him, which he is definitely correct. He is definitely correct. Because, I mean, hell, we could start that off. I was going to start off with, I mean, and people are coming up with all these crazy ass stories about Carmelo Anthony, which I really don't pay no attention to. I really don't. I mean, him going to a disclosed location, I mean, that's his parents. That's not him. I could care less. I can pretty much care less. As long as he's safe, as long as he stands trial, then he should be okay. He should be totally okay. So, I mean, if he goes into the woods, if he goes in the woods in the cabin, and the cabin is this, 37.5 acres of land, I really don't care as long as he's safe. And now he's getting attention from the Aryan Brotherhood because he believe that people believe that this man is going to go to fucking prison. He's not going to prison. Thus, if the evidence proves true that, and by the way, this is his first offense, I can't see a black man if proven substantial. If it is proven that Carmelo Anthony did not practice self-defense, which in my eyes he did. In my eyes, he did defend himself. I see Austin trampling over him and, just swinging at him. I see Carmelo getting into a defense. Someone obviously is grabbing his bag. And I often see, this is what I see. Is it my truth? No. Because I don't know anything. I only know what's been put out there in the hemisphere of social media. I don't know anything about anything. But yet, day after day after day, they're coming up with little small stuff and it's very upsetting and it's very sad that we have to hear from these knucklehead assholes, these Jake Lang wannabes, these Nick Fuentes wannabes. It's very, very sickening, right? But again, we got ex-cops chiming in, and I mean, if you're a former police officer, I had a police officer, I had an acting police officer up on my live just the other day. We had a good conversation. I just believe that he's on the wrong side of it, but I don't argue back and I don't yell back and forth. I never drew any insults. He never drew any insults at me, which in terms means we're agreeing to disagree, but we can coexist on the same panel. I can't say, for the sake of argument, I can't say definitively, I can't say much for these people. And like I said, Sharon did a good damn job. Now, I'm going to let this play for a few minutes, and I'm going to let you get the feel. I want you to get the feel for this thing, because I want to ask you a question. From here on in, what type of panel would you participate in? Would you like to participate in? Because we're all late 30s, 40s, 50, about to be 50. This brother, OJ Speed, shouts out to OJ Speed, got completely disrespected. People don't get the comprehension. He's a first of all, he's a comedian. He's one of the olds. He's one of the greats. He's been there and done that, but he can also turn that comedy into a serious thing due to certain topics. But you're going to go up on there and you're going to lose your cool. I ain't going to say who it was. I'm not going to say who it was. I just want to watch the clip. If he shows it on here, you're going to see two people lose their fucking cool on OJ Speed. Is this how you talk to your elder? I guess we all grown out here. An angry man just want to be just a special type of guy. Special is the word. Let's get into it.
Hey, Mr. Rimtastic gonna say, "Hey, why are you hogging up the microphone? You talking? Shut up! I am the reason why people are here. I'm getting tired of you, mother. I'm getting tired of y'all acting as if not.
Just let it out. Just let it out, Sharon. It'll be better for you. Just let the shit out.
I'm not important enough to speak to, because on his show, but when we was all multiple streaming, guess who had the most viewers out of everybody?
I could care less.
So we're not gonna as if I don't mean anything. A lot of y'all have 3 times, sometimes even 1,000 times, 100,000 more subscribers than me, and we get the same numbers. Why is that?
I'm gonna be frank with you. I can care less about the numbers. Whoever's here is here. People always get into this frame of mind, this altercation, these tough talks of who grows what stream, who grows the better stream. A long time ago, everybody was on Kevin Samuels' nuts, and they're still on Kevin Samuels' nuts, even though he's been dead and gone for damn near what, 2-3 years. Now you're trying to go up there and snatch it. He stopped over, was it 1 million or 2? He had over 1 million subscribers. I'm not trying to. I'm not slick enough to get that far. I don't want to get that far. I don't have nothing important to give to y'all than the news and what's reported. Sometimes when I go to rallies, if I go to rallies or if I go to community meetings, I'll videotape it. I'll send it back to, and of course, Umar clips. I'll send it back to you. You critique it however you want to critique. It's your call, your judgment.
That. Stop trying to act as if I don't matter. Nah, that's not gonna fly anymore because we can see it. You ain't gonna try to humble me. You can't. It's not possible. I'm not from a place where I'm supposed to be humble. I'm just not from that place. I'm not from that mindset. I'm going to stand strong and stand tall, 10 toes down for the things that I believe in. And as of right now, I do not believe that Carmelo Anthony was some goddamn hooligan.
Let's just skip.
Ready. I didn't say a word yet. I'm being patient. This is the very beginning of me showing up.
This is what we'll do. We'll put him right here, so that way you ain't got to be scared, OG. I got you.
Is Wayne Brady going to have to choke a bitch?
He's got his black shirt on. Where's the black hood at?
Yeah. Keep it up. Woo, keep it up. This is the reason why at some point in time I'm gonna have to hang out with the Hebrew Israelites, because I've hung around with the Black Panthers. I hung around with the Hebrew Israelites, and I'm gonna have a little conversation about coons who take light to their blackness. I gotta have a conversation about that one day.
Go ahead, Sharon. What you got for us?
So I want y'all to understand that I just got there. They put me and the angry man in the box together. So therefore, this whole idea and this narrative painted that, oh, Sharon, nobody wants to talk to you. We see people do want to have a conversation with me. It's okay. It's all right. It's because I'm opposing to what they're saying, and so they want to just have a conversation so we can get both points of view out. It's okay. It's okay that say like want to have opposing conversations on his channel, that he doesn't mind the back and forth. He's trying to have conversations, and when you're dealing with big personalities, it gets very difficult. It's not an easy thing to manage multiple personalities, especially when people want to talk. I ain't getting past it, Mufasa. So my main issue is I don't see why we want to put this kid in jail. I don't think he's going to do anything past probation. The reason why I don't think he's going to do anything past probation is because of the knife situation, right? Even though I don't think it's illegal by because it's a sharp tool, so I get it, so to speak. But since it's only 3.3, mind you, I want y'all to pay attention to while I'm speaking. I want you to pay attention to the angry Rim's face. He is smiling, he's smirking because he knows he's just trying to find a way to stir up something. Shout out, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Shout out to Sean Antonio. I really appreciate that. The first support of the day. Thank you so much.
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Shout out to him with the $4.99 says, don't be surprised when the mayo glazers show up the glaze, the mayo flavored glizzies. Yo!
Hello, Trish.
Oh, damn.
This boy is crazy.
Understand it is. That's all. I just want it to be equal across the board. That's it. Let's see what Angry Man, because they put us in a box for me and him to have a conversation. Let's see what happens. I've made my claim. Let's see if he talked to what I am saying.
There's nothing but ignorance, but I'm gonna let it play.
Who told you that his knife was 3.3 inches, sir? Where did you find that?
It doesn't. So, and this is what happens often as well too in these conversations. Now they want you to get literal. We all understand that we have this idea of this 3.3 inches of the knife is because of the conversation that we've been having on a day-to-day basis. We are dealing with the information that we have. Everybody's saying that was a 3.3 inch knife.
No disrespect, but Simulac and Michael McDoesn't exist are embarrassing. the way they're kissing the Angry Man's derriere. I do agree. When it's beneficial for them, yeah, they'll kiss ass, of course, because they're trying to get them ratings up. Other than that, they ain't got shit to talk about. None. Nothing. Nada. Zid. Zilch. And they'll go on and they'll play that role till it's dried up. Clout chasers, of course. The way the Angry Man used to cuss out and denigrate her in the past, and now she loves him. Facts. Yeah, on this channel we don't like to talk about dick, people. So I'll refrain myself. You can talk about all you want, but I don't talk about the dead, if you know what I mean. But Simulac, say like, he's just another victim, I guess. As far as the Angry Man's concerned, he's just another white cloth that's dirtied up. He's just a dirty white cloth to me. Anything that's convenient, anything that he can pander to his audience, that's what it is. No. Like I said, this ain't got nothing to do with you. You are free to call out this person's name however you want. Ain't got shit to do with me. But when you have a certain thing in your heart that you let lie dormant, you try not to bring that out because, quite frankly, again, they're just doing this for clout. I'm just going to say it this way and we're going to move on. They're just doing this for clout. I'll put it that way. But I'm going to show you how ignorant this shit is.
If it comes out that it's different, and then, hey, if he was walking around with a goddamn butcher knife in his bag, hey, we're going to have to change our conversation. However, for what we understand, is a small pocket. If it comes out later that is a different knife, hey, it's a different conversation. But go ahead. Doesn't matter. Regardless of it, it said it's a little small knife from what I understand. And I don't know if it turns out to be a butcher knife or something like that, where it's like something like that, then my process would change. But from what I understand as of right now, I understand it's a small knife.
The knife was at minimum 5.5 inches, which violates text and is in fact a felony.
No, so I want to make sure that we see how she referenced that, right? She said the knife was 5.5 inches. No, it wasn't. That is the penal standing code of a definition of a knife within a school, right? So it's a knife that is 5.5 inches or longer with a bladed edge. It's considered a landing knife, and the landing knife is something that you have on your side. So that's what's considered a landing knife over there in Texas. But that's not necessarily what the young man had. As of right now, we don't understand if he had a 5.5 inch knife or bigger, or did he have this 3.3 inch small pocket knife that, as far as we understand, that's what he is saying. So that is the definition of a landing knife, but we do not know what size of knife that he actually had at this point yet. So she is giving the penal code correctly, but she's using it in the wrong context.
Everybody's saying it's 5.5 inches. From the handling knife, or from the steel blade itself. You take away the handling knife, that appears to be 4.5 inches. Rounded off, that's 5. You put back on the handling knife, it may appear to be more than 5 inches, but we don't know what type of knife it was. That's my point. We don't know what type of knife it was.
Because he did not have a knife that big from what we know yet. No, but we don't have the size. So they said the knife was 5 inches, or that's the penal code you're talking about? Because the penal code says 5.5 inches is considered a landing knife. So that means you have it on your side. But from what I understand, he didn't have one of those. But we get
so where did it? But see, this is what I like about. I'm gonna use Angry Man's word. The Negro Europeans.
Right. So again, instead of addressing what I'm saying about my position on that he should not be getting charged of murder one and he should be getting probation for the knife. I already said he should get probation for the knife. That's what I'm saying. They are trying to paint a narrative that I'm this new term that he came up with as a Negropean, which is wild. How am I the Negropean?
You maybe appear that way, but sometimes all that shit backfires and you're a little bit too smart for your own good, and this is the reason why you're in the situation that you're in. Sorry for the ranting, but everybody doesn't study law. Everybody wants to be Johnny come lately. Everybody wants to be Johnny Law. Everybody wants to be Inspector Gadget. Everybody wants to be Detective Crockett. Unless you have, because there were multiple police reports and multiple videos. They got to put all that shit together. And guess what? Since he's a minor, Carmelo Anthony's a minor. He's 17. They're not going to put that out in the atmosphere, so we can all go. It's all hearsay right now.
Can somebody please explain that to me? How am I the Negropean?
Because
That's
you don't pander to their intellect.
How? But talk to what I am saying, not your narrative that you are trying to paint.
You're saying that the knife is 3.3 inches. Where's the documentation of that, sir?
What I'm saying, that's what people are saying. That's the regurgitation.
No, we're not going by hearsay.
So people are saying that it's yeah, what I heard.
Hey,
Hello.
Trish.
How are you?
How you
So,
doing?
just to clarify, it's been, and this is why I don't like these discussions. It wasn't a knife, actually. It was a cleaver.
A cleat?
Right. So it was a part of his equipment for playing sports. And it's probably the first thing he had reached in his bag to get. A lot of athletes have them. So, yeah, it was used as a weapon. And it's clear as day. So, some people probably didn't do that much digging of what type of weapon, what it looked like, what was the inches exactly, and they using the wrong verbiage. It wasn't a knife.
Yeah. Well, the black coons declared that it was a knife, but even though they don't have all the answers and they don't have all the answers, it's like I said, it's just hearsay for right now. And
It's not hearsay. It was confirmed that it wasn't a knife. Okay,
yeah, I know that part, but I'm saying everybody else is saying that it was a knife. Which how do you know?
Well, then it's misinformation. Their
Right.
their talking points are based on misinformation. That's why I will reiterate, I don't like to engage in those discussions because I don't like to argue with Special Olympics type minded people. When it comes down to Angry Man, I blame it on his light skinnedness. I really do. He does it for YouTube to be a sensationalist. I think some of the things I think he can only say in his basement. You know what I'm saying? Because out in the real world, he would have a lot of pushback, like OG, especially black people, melanated people, conscious people. There's no way in the world that you would be able to hold the conversation in the real world like that, only on YouTube. So you got to look at it for what it was. Like I can't even fathom um, that many coons being in the world. They're in a box with the racists. And my opinion, my personal opinion, the racists and the coons should both die off.
Wow. Now you speaking my language. You are definitely speaking my language, ma'am. But it's just gonna get worse. This is gonna get much worse because they feel like
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
belong to somebody.
I don't think it's going to get worse. I think this is the time now that it's a paradigm shift. Things are evolving the way it's supposed to. And like I said in the chat that day when I saw you, they're not like us. They're just because we all have similar skin tones, that don't mean we're kinfolk. We have the same ideology. We're fighting for the same justices. Some people are just here to take care of themselves. And when people speak like angry men, it's selfish. It's coming from a selfish place. And we already know, what they're coming from. I'm not even going to say these clowns' names, right? We already know they're coming from a cloud chase YouTube. They're not living real. We already know what the real is with those two. So it's the Matrix. It's conversation for the Matrix. In real life, it does not happen that way. And we see it play out when they highlight these behaviors. Remember Alabama with the folding chairs? Black people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I stopped being angry at other blacks that look like me, melanated people. I know they're not like me, so I don't put them in the same category as me and my real brothers and my real sisters. I put them in the box with the white supremacists. And if you don't, things are becoming very confusing for you. It will become extremely confusing for you. If you are against us, I'm not saying you have to be a prejudiced person, you have to hate other groups. We're not saying that. But you gotta love us enough to see through the propaganda, the media, the bullshit, the systems that are placed out. And if you're not on that conscious frequency, fuck you.
Fuck you. I wouldn't be surprised if you were up on that bus the day Jake Lang and his little buddy, his little big buddy up there. And I was surprised that this was an actual brother spewing out black hatred and saying we should protect. This is a black man saying we should protect white people. Like, where did this come from?
So you see, things like that are not confusing to me. I don't even second guess it. Like 10 years ago, when people or situations happen, and I used to be like, but why? But why would they're black people. They're not supposed to say that. They're not supposed to.
Not surprising at all.
Right. Today, at my age, I'm like, fuck them.
I do.
I promise you, if there was ever, and this is a classism war, it's not about black or white or race, to be honest with you. The racism does exist ever. But the real lineup is classism. Okay? When you look at racism, it's a deflection from classism. The money. We got to get to the money. I don't care what the KKK is thinking. We need to organize and we need to protect ourselves. And even if it's a situation with Carmelo Anthony, I think as a 17-year-old young man, probably this is the narrative that's out there that will probably come out in trial if he was bullied before that day. And that was the day, just like Alabama, where they fucked around and found out. See, bullying doesn't have an expiration date. Like, if you bully me for a month, I'm supposed to keep taking your shit. A year, I'm supposed to keep taking your shit. What is that cutoff period? Maybe, just maybe, Carmelo Anthony met his threshold and said, today is that day these niggas are fucking with me, because someone recorded that tent incident, and that was his friend. If you saw the tent footage, you would have saw Carmelo Anthony engaging in out of the rain with these guys, and they was pissed off. If they bullied him before and he ended up underneath their tent, you know, it could go two ways. The courts could say he antagonized the situation by picking that tent to be under, or he recorded it to be smart to demonstrate the bullying. You know what I mean? Either way, the time frame from when the camera stopped rolling to this assault, that wasn't recorded. So it could go either way. And the way we see the US of A, and especially in Texas, the McAuliffes are very connected in Texas. They run that town in Frisco. Just keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the McCavs run it. White supremacy runs it because it's basically a Republican state. So, It's done. It's a done deal. The boy's probably gonna get probation. And I
I'm not
wouldn't
going
be.
to say that. I'm not going to say that either. And I want to prepare you, brother. If,
Hmm.
if this is what I want you to know, and this is real talk.
Okay.
Either way the trial goes, whether he gets off or he's convicted, it's not going to end well. Do you see that?
I was just gonna say that. I
Okay,
was just gonna say that.
got it.
His mother is as loud as she was yelling, crying, and screaming, and the
They're
father
going
had no
through it.
business being
They're
there
going
in the
through
first
it.
place.
They're
They're
going through it.
going to it. They're going to go through it like no other.
Yes.
And people claim that there is no race war. Are you crazy?
Actually, it's an isolated situation that made national news, right? And it's not a race war because the all of USFA, even though we have an opinions, we're not battling each other. So I don't want to use that verbiage either. Opinions on social medias are like assholes. Everyone has one. Everyone has the internet. But if I see riots breaking out in 10 major states in the US, then we can say it's a race war. Right now, it's Frisco, Texas, that one family is being attacked, or maybe a couple if they're attached to them or supporting them. But it's that white 63% in Frisco is kind of bullying the family. And this is the behavior that was taught to the McCaff's boys to begin with. To see, one thing
So
I will
what would
say,
you call police brutality then? What would
I'm
you
sorry,
call police brutality? I said, what would you call police brutality then?
it is definitely bullying, but it was designed to be that. The policing people from the beginning of the police department, it's always been to police us and low hanging fruit,
Hmm.
slaves. See, but I was never a slave, so that's why I love the law. You know what I mean? I use it. You said this. You said it. It's right here. What are you talking about? So that's where the discrepancy comes from. Texas is a stand your ground state. Yeah, they're, they're Carmelo Anthony is 132 pounds at 5'9". Got it? Those boys were
The Metcalf brothers
225 pounds and
on
6'1" each.
Caprice.
It's
Thank you.
318 pounds difference and 5 inches in height.
Mm.
So if Kayla Hayes, the mom, which is Carmelo Anthony's mom, if they have great representation attorneys, they're going to point all of that out. So it's a possibility that he would get off just by that. But here's the thing: if Carmelo Anthony was a third-degree black belt and without a weapon, he broke one of the McCaff's boys' neck, it would be the same situation. He would still get arrested. So this is another point that the attorney should bring up. What is reasonable strength and reasonable defense when you're in imminent danger? 318 pounds difference, 5 inches in height difference. How do you combat that? What is not force?
And how ignorant, and we must add this in, how ignorant is it that not only do you get doxxed, and but the judge that lowered this boy's bond from $1 million, which is
Well, that was
totally
bound to
fucking
happen.
ridiculous.
That was bound to happen because they arrested him. The community in that county is pressing for an arrest, pressing for the death penalty, pressing for life in prison, pressing for everything. Once the judge heard the circumstances, she felt that $1 million was outlandish for that case. So it was lowered to $250,000, and 10% of that is $25,000, which the family had, But him being released and the pressure from the county, and you know what that 63% of that county looks like, and it's really bad and uncomfortable trying to live an affluent life in that town for that family. Frisco is an affluent area. It's not like Dallas or Fort Worth or Houston or the grunge. It is really an upcoming area. So I could see this was a shock to the community overall. But now that there are more, catch this, now that there are more Black people, Black families moving in this area, what is going on with that engagement? How does the Black kids feel when they go to school with the kids there, right? And who their parents are and grandparents are? It has to be hell for them. But we want to move on up to the sky, to these areas. And we get this, they fuck with our kids. Well, I grew up
moving right along with white people.
I grew up with a grandma, a granddad, I call him Papa, a mom and a dad, brothers, and an elder sister that said, if you are ever in a fight, somebody bullies you, you bully their ass right back. See, I wasn't bullied, my younger sister was, and I was her protector. I really took that to heart. Like, you better not ever come home with your ass whooped, or I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Crying, or I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Right, exactly. So it worked out good for me, even as an adult. That word of advice.
But nowadays we gotta follow the law. We gotta be proportionate. We gotta do all this other type of shit. Was it proportionate when George Zimmerman was following
Exactly. And that was stand your ground laws. He got off.
And what and Trish, what was that one in Florida?
Trayvon had Skittles and a pop.
Who was that person in Florida that the Black man was whooping this dude's ass? He fell on the floor. The white boy pulled out the gun. End of story. Who was that? Who was that? I mean, we have so many similar stories that pertain to this boy. But when do we say enough?
Hold on, but it's in reverse now. This is the first time I believe we are witnessing the alleged aggressor being a Black young teenager, which he's not a criminal. He's a star athlete. He lives in an affluent area. He comes from great two-family home. He's not a thug. How do you flip this?
No. He lives with a single mother. His father's weak. His father's weak because his mother, spoke up in that conference. He's a thug because he held up a Drago.
He lives in a two-family household. Where do you get the single family? The father, Lord, had to take the leave of absence because they.
I know. I seen the picture. I seen the picture. But I'm saying you got these nutsos coming out of the woodwork.
Confusing me when you see. That's what I'm saying. When you start throwing out misinformation, my brain starts screaming, "Willie, what? That ain't what happened." That's why I don't hit those other panels. You're scaring me. Don't scare me. You have to know the details, right? And the details is this does not fit a violent criminal the way the news would normally write it. He was expelled. Why was he expelled? For defending himself? Got it. Okay, he was expelled. Not a problem. Let the courts handle it. Let the jurors of his peers handle it. But, I noticed that the McCaff twin that did those two interviews, his story changed twice.
I heard, yes. But we're not gonna. Well, let's just say everybody says this is not a race issue. Okay. Let's just say I do agree with you, which I don't. This is a privileged issue. I'm white, and I say so. When I tell you to get up, boy, you're going to get up. And everybody else is saying, you shouldn't just got up. For what? If you found me a threat, I say this all the time, why don't you just go get security? Why don't you get somebody higher up? You are not the higher up. I don't care how many medals you got.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. He did go to a coach and an adult in a situation.
So what happened?
You could tell they learned it from him, the coach. They learned this behavior of hazing and shit from him. The way he treated and dismissed Carmelo Anthony as an adult was crazy. What are we talking about here? Wait a minute. Are you doing that YouTube thing? Did you see the video underneath the tent before this incident happened? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, well then you saw that adult in the situation, he's a coach. He oversees the kids. And he dismissed Carmelo. They was rude, they were drinking, they were obnoxious, and Carmelo Anthony was as cool as ice. Talk about emotional intelligence. And the cameraman was his boy, and he refused to drop the camera. So that's why they kept it nice and subtle and clever and subliminal. When don't follow him, I'm going this way.
Don't cuss at. That was rude. That was rude of you. Don't cuss at him like that. Don't cuss
exactly.
at him like that.
Exactly.
How's that thug?
Yeah, how was he aggressive? How was he aggressive?
How was that aggressive? I don't see no aggressive. I don't know any thugs. I don't know any thugs that score a 3.7 or a 4.0.
Exactly. But forget about that. They were very jealous of him because he's a star athlete and he's like the only black kid on the, let's not go there. I was one of those too. I didn't care about them crackers. Listen, but these guys were aggressive. Who did he think he was? And then the coach, knowing that he wasn't on his team, he was like, don't follow him. And Carmelo looked back and said, wait a minute. I'm going this way.
I'm going this way.
Yeah. Already trying to set the boy up for being aggressive. Get the hell out of here.
He was getting praised for it. He was getting praised like, you're doing a good job, blah, 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 blah. And we love you. We love your black asses. He was like, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Somebody black and proud, how could twins, 225 pounds, 6'1", run track anyway? Knock it off. I ran track. I went to the pin relays and everything. You're lean like Carmelo Anthony. When you're a kid. You're not big. They play football, right? They're big football, big dudes. Get the fuck out of here. So this is what I want to know. What position was Austin McCaff in when that poker plunged into his heart? Was he over?
My guess is he's a linebacker. Well, again, there's a gap because there's a big ass gap between get your ass up and touch me and see what happens.
Exactly.
And you know why I usually hear touch me and see what happens? Something happened before. People keep saying that they didn't know each other.
That's what I was saying. It's still, and we're going to find out during the trial. Was there previous bullying, pouncing? And listen, my son grew up in a type of school that they go to. Those white boys believe in hazing. They believe in beating you up. You are never, ever, ever, ever to go to the principal or the dean and let them know that we just fucked you up. You got to take this. It goes beyond giving me your school money because they're all rich. You know what I'm saying? So they do things like blocking it. He just got a Mercedes Benz when he was 16. I can imagine they're blocking him off on one of those roads, stopping him with the whole football gang. Let me tell you, those white boys really, come on, come on, come on.
Yeah,
Man, I
yeah, of
raised my
course.
son in Mayapack, New York. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so trust me, it was probably a high probability that more incidents happened, and that's why he was filming in the first place.
Did his phone break? Was he
Oh
on?
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And here's
Yeah.
another narrative. A week ago, and I'm saying it's a narrative because it hasn't been confirmed, so I'm very responsible. But a week ago, right before this incident, it was supposed to be that the girlfriend, some incident with Carmelo Anthony's girlfriend and one of the white boys. And they tried to rough Carmelo Anthony up in front of the girl a week before. Okay. And yeah, they're saying he had a busted lip and it still was a little busted even at this track meet. We don't know. We don't know how deep the bullying, how physical it got, and what was Carmelo Anthony's threshold of not wanting to get his ass beat by these white boys. What's up, Von Eric? Smash it. These are the thoughts that I had. We-On-Loc. I don't know if you agree or you don't agree with this.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, except that the whole race war thing. People
So
say
you
that
don't believe
we've
it's
been
you believe it's a
divided.
race war.
Well, let me just say this: people have been saying that we are more divided more than ever. Where the hell is you? Where the hell have you been? You just now born into this world. We've always been racially divided through Jim Crow, through segregation, through redlining, through Willie Lynch. If you don't know about see, you're just blinded by AI. You're blinded by computers. You're blinded by all these different things. We get along to get along. I don't buy all that. I never bought all that at all. I go to work and I mind my own damn business. I don't gotta sit with you. I ain't gotta conversate with you because I know your true intentions. And lo and behold, it works every single time. Every single time. And people want this so bad to work. You want so bad to fit in. But how many times have you been pulled over and you're with your white friends and you're in the driver's seat, they pull you over and you got and can you see your license and registration and it's like, well, why'd you pull me over? And it's like, are you getting smart with me and all this other shit? Is your white friend gonna vouch for you? No. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. When you get it, when shit breaks out, are you going to be on the front? I got a better question. Where were y'all when Sandra Bland got murdered? Where were you white folks then? I didn't see any when I went to the rally.
Okay, so this is where we're going to defer an opinion, right? And I'm going to just ask for your patience.
Patience as far as what?
Explaining what I disagree with you. I don't agree. I really don't agree with Black people, and we're going to use that word, Black people being aggressive when they're being policed or they're pulled over. I believe we should have a high level of emotional intelligence, a high level. And we should train our kids to have a high level of emotional intelligence and get home. But here's the thing. What does that mean? That means learning what the protocol is and teaching ourselves and our kids what it is. So if anything ever is said that you went outside that protocol, it'll make it easier for us to fight them. So we've done a lot of analytics over so many years, over 884 murders by police all across the country. You have no idea. The one commonality that was written in the reports was that the Black people were aggressive. They were not following protocol, orders, things like that. You've mentioned Sandra Bland. She was also very aggressive. We saw it. What I'm saying is they're using that aggression of being done dirty against us. And I think the way we should flip it intellectually is to play cool. Emotional intelligence is key. M, military sciences. And if we don't practice it, it's going to be more of us lost.
In other words, Trish is talking about we should study the law frontwards, backwards.
No. I teach my son, or I taught my son, simple things. Meaning, if you're driving in a car, a vehicle, and you're signaled to be pulled over by the cops, your hands are on the steering. Okay? Yeah, you pull over. You don't
all four windows down.
Huh?
All four windows down.
All four windows down. Yeah, all of that, all of those protocol issues, and keep your hands always in front of you. Ask the officer, hey, if they ask you to get your license and registration, tell them where it is before you reach for it. This is emotional intelligence. This is protocol. Hey, officer, my license is in my purse. The registration is in the glove compartment. Do you mind I reach for it? Sure.
I understand where you're coming from, Trish, but I just want to remind you, the last person who did that and told the officer, I'm reaching for my gun, because he said, do you have anything in the car that can harm me? And I said, yes, I have my gun in my glove box, and I'm going to go and reach for it because it wasn't loaded.
Hold on a second. That's a great example. What if you are carrying and you get stopped? You tell them, I have it. I'm not reaching for it. I want you guys to get it for me. My permit is in the car, or I don't have one, but I'm not a criminal officer. These are the things you must say and not be all egotistical when we're dying every day by the hundreds and thousands. It's not hard. They will kill us dead if we do not follow orders on the spot. But it gives us another day to fight getting back home to our families, and that's the most important thing. Fuck all that other shit.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. It's the thing about it. The thing is, we want to get home. We want to get home safe to our loved ones. But I am not naive to the fact that a lot of Black people, they get scared once those lights come on.
That's why emotional intelligence and military sciences is a part of BANSECO. Body science, agricultural, nutritional, spiritual, astrological, comedic, economical, historical, military science that includes emotional intelligence. That's how you survive. Those are the 9 sciences of survival. And if you don't have it in you, what do you know what's going to happen?
That's the reason why we need a school like Umar's to open up so we can teach these things to our children. Hands
And we can start
down.
now. We don't have to wait till the school get up. We don't have to wait. We know
We don't have to. We don't have to wait. We don't have to wait.
We don't have to wait. When we get there, it'll be there. But don't sit dormant and not know what to do. They're not.
And you know, and this is the reason why I say, I'm gonna have some officers on deck on Thursday. We have a couple of police officers, God willing. Well, I know I'm gonna have Dre up here. He's an acting officer for Atlanta. Lisa helped set me up.
That's quality content. Let's go.
Yeah, and then of course we're hopefully have the real Nathan Daly up here, so we can have we all of us can have a conversation without all the yelling and all the screaming and all the insults. We don't need to do all that. We're gonna have quality, not quantity, but quality content. I mean, but just to be fair, I did have an acting officer up here the last couple of videos, and everything went out well. I mean, we agreed to disagree, but there was no fighting, there was no fussing, none of that. So he's free to come. He is free to come back anytime he wants. You know what I'm saying? But with this particular video I'm just playing, there was nothing but insults. Nothing but insults. Hell, you were there, you know.
Yeah,
you already know.
Because I just wanted to get some logic in before you play this zombie and sleepwalker zombie information. Now they got the real information. Now look at these coons and niggas talk. Hush, I'm dropping.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, the infamous, wonderful Shish Trish. You can catch Shish Trish on her channel. Shish Trish, go ahead and smash that subscribe button to Shish Trish's channel. Now, hey Heather, how you doing? Hey Bridge, how you been doing? How you been doing? Let's get back to the video, because we on to dissect this coonery and buffoonery. Then we're going to get into some other shit. Let's go.
And I'm saying that I don't have no record report of
Who
it.
is it with the
So
toy?
the people that are talking about the case, majority of people are saying that the knife was 3 inches or whatever the case. And as right now, you can see it. I'm speaking to 3 people, right? I'm supposed to be talking to Angry Man. The host, Raw G, she jumped in to want some clarity. Then we have the Angry Snowman throwing a little peanut gallery conversations. And we also have the host, Cellulite. We're going to see how that works out. So that's the information. So that's the information. None of us got the size of the knife yet. None of us. We don't
Sorry
know.
about that. I had a child interruption. Give me 1 second. I had a child interruption. That was all the toy music that y'all just heard.
I'm just trying to figure out.
Wait, hold on. Let him finish his thought, because he up here. But I had a child interruption.
Oh, come on, he never lets anyone else finish a thought.
He don't let nobody finish. I mean, well, he is a Negro P. I mean, he was a part of that 20v1 situation. At least that's what I heard, because I didn't watch it. But
you know,
narrative painting. Narrative painting. Instead of addressing what I'm saying, they are painting narratives. Why are you doing this? Why are you calling me some Negro PM? Why are you saying that we have some 20v1? Why are you saying that on my channel? Why are we even talking about my channel when we are to talk about the topic and I ain't bring up nothing but the topic, and I substantiated my point of view? I not understand why we cannot talk about what my position is, because they don't want to get to know truth. They just want to muddy up the waters.
I said it wrong.
They want to paint black people in a bad light. For what reason? I have no idea. I do not understand it. But maybe I don't know. We'll see.
Well, he only ever lets anyone get halfway through their thought, and then he redirects their thought his direction.
Jesus Christ. All right, so
He just tried to do it with me. He just tried to do it to me.
I know, but I'm about to get him. Baby, I got him. Watch this. So, Sherrod Bracy, quick question for you. So this is only by hearsay matter that you heard that the knife was under 5.5 inches.
Yes.
Okay. And really cool.
As you can see, I can answer a very direct question. I don't have to paint no narrative about it.
Quick, American Nacho, what was that Texas Penal Code again?
46.03.
46.03. There it is right there. All right, so I want to bring this up, right? Texas Penal Code 46.03 prohibits the possession of certain weapons in specific locations. This includes schools, polling places, government courts, racetracks, and secure areas of airports. The law applies to a person intentionally, knowingly, or
we're gonna skip past this because we understand this is more narrative and already admitted to this, right? And said, hey, I don't know the size of the knife. Y'all don't know the size of the knife. I already admitted, hey, if it's over 5.5 inches, that is a landing knife. I don't understand what is all of this. Let's get to you proving my point of view wrong and give me your facts, stats, and data. But you are not. We are skipping it because we already went over this. And we are all in agreement already. But some
I just had a conversation with my daughter. And sidebar, she said, Donald Trump just changed the letter in the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. I hate America. America sucks. And it was like, you just come to that realization.
People like black, maybe you're a little soft. So since you know what? Everything somebody else do is important.
Recklessly possessing or going with a firearm, location, restricted knife, club, or prohibited weapon. And we can see right here highlighted when we talk about race tracks, because this deal happened on a race. Now, the stadium is within, I think, 1,000 feet of a school. Is right next to a middle school, right?
Okay.
Baby, you there?
Yes,
Okay.
it's right next to it. It's considered a school facility. It's a campus.
Right. It's considered a school facility. And then we also have to look at the student code of conduct. Shout out to Mr. Fantastic.
Again, none of this is my point. I have an open statement. What I said was I don't think he should be considered being charged and being convicted of murder one. And I think that he should get probation for the knife. That is my position. I want to know, what are they showing right now is disproving my position? Nothing at all. They are not talking to what I am talking about. They are just trying to paint a narrative to muddy the waters for no reason at this moment.
A knife that is 5.5 inches is location based because.
Thank you for saying that. Or a security guard would have found this knife before they searched his bag and they seen a knife. Hey, excuse me, young man, you cannot have this knife in the school. You need to take this pocket knife, the small knife, and put it in your car. That's what the policy would have did. So that's not misunderstood. We are saying that pocket knife would not have got him arrested on campus. What they would have told him that you cannot enter this building with this pocket knife. You need to go ahead.
I do have a question though. Did that school that not his school, but the school that he went track to, don't they have like security what you call them things, the wands and the security gates at the door? Don't they have one of those? Because they would have searched this boy far and wide, and it would have told him take this shit back to the car. Or am I tripping? I must be tripping.
And take this pocket knife to your car, to your motorcycle, to your bicycle. You need to put it somewhere off of school grounds is what they would have said. You cannot carry it on. That's what the policy is saying.
Sorry.
So now that we understand, policy does not mean illegal. Hopefully we are in agreement to that. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe policies means illegal. What up, ADS? Do policy mean illegal? Put a 1 in the chat to believe policy means illegal. Put a 2 in the chat if you believe that it does not.
I said 2. We all put 2 in the chat, so let's move a little forward because I want to get to the ignorant parts.
You use it, if you were to use it in any kind of aggravating factor or whatever, then it is a crime.
Correct. Go ahead, Raw, and then we got to read the money.
Yeah.
Oh, again, as we see, it was supposed to start up as a conversation between me and Angry Man, and then Angry Man didn't even get to speak yet. They derailed the whole conversation. Fine. So we understand who's narrative painting and who is not.
Well, Sharon, that's just what they do. See, whenever you or me or anybody else, when we have control of our channels, one person gets to speak, unless it's a dialogue between the two, and I usually let it go back and forth, back and forth. But if it's a third party, then it's too much distorting of the mics. So therefore, if it's a good dialogue between two people, it's good because you're going back and forth, even though it's like you got to hear the person over the other. You know what I'm trying to say. But when y'all just going at it, and it's like the points gets lost, the conversation gets lost, and you got to start all over again.
I'm answering the questions very directly. And I want to skip a little further so we get down to the meat and potatoes of all this crazy. If we get to 100 likes, I will open up the little kid can put a knife through a grown man's body, especially if the person is scared. This is more narrative painting. I don't know why that is even brought up, that he got a grown man. Now, all of a sudden, a knife cannot go through a grown man body. A little child, 10 years old, can stab a knife through a grown person's body. This is wild. This is the miseffect. This is the waters being muddied. Now he got superhuman strength as well. It's crazy. Right. So
hold on a second.
Hold on, Sean. Go next.
In the life with Mike, you can say whatever it is that you want to say, but we know that your mother was like.
That's great. So now they're addressing the chat, which we know that's just going to disrupt the whole conversation. Stay on the goddamn panel. We got a bunch of people here. You don't need.
I'm not going to even address it because I'm not going to even address it. But sometimes when you get that a hatred for somebody, I'm just going to call it what it is. When you have a hatred for somebody and it just kind of takes away from who you can become and what you're trying to accomplish. I don't like it when certain people speak. I just feel like the worst can come out of a person. Oh, the worst can come out of me. And I'm not in that realm anymore. Although I do get, and Trish is right. Trish is right. She, she's right on the money, and I'm paraphrasing what she says. We have to be more smarter than this. Though my patience, it needs a new coat. My patience needs that thickness that needs to be refurbished. It needs that thickness, that thick, not thin, thick armor. Because a person can piss you off and apparently you just go psycho. And what does it do? I mean, unless you meet somewhere and fight or flight syndrome, and you know, your life is no longer valuable at that point. But you try not to go there. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that this person talking, not Sharon, but the other person, you just literally just think of the worst. And of course, they're there. Yeah, they're there to cause havoc. They're to cause havoc. They're to cause trouble. Because if not, then of course, again, why is Sharon having a hard time expressing and critiquing the case at hand that's been going on for damn near 2.5 weeks? Can anybody explain to me why we can't have a panel full of grown ass adults? Can you please explain to me why we can't have these panels? Why? What's the purpose of having a panel? Because if I wanted to roast you, I would have no problem doing it. If I wanted to roast, I'll go over Auntie's and start roasting everybody for fun. I don't want to do that right now because there's a serious situation going on. And on top of that, there are multiple situations going on. The Lewis twins, nobody can find the Lewis twins. The Lewis twins got their brains blown out by some white man. Some young man, a father, got shot by the police because they have egos. It's a situation, but it's a situation that's gonna lead to a head. And you got white folks now being offended. Oh, we got to save white America. We got to save it. And you got this big cocky ass black kid. At first I thought he was white, but this is a big ass black dude talking about we got to save white America. I was like, what? Why am I shocked? Why am I shocked? I got a brother that used to be in the Ku Klux Klan. He was the Green Klan dragon of the Ku Klux Klan. The first black man that was in the Ku Klux Klan. Why am I shocked? So this is who we rock with. But let me stop ranting.
Need to indulge into the chat as well. It's crazy.
The food stamps and keep it together with Section 8 housing. We know that your mother couldn't sell that box and afford to pay her $25 a month rent, which is why you were constantly facing eviction. We know this is why you make sure you have an education. But see, don't make it going down. Yes.
Hey, Raw, you might want to be careful talking about welfare. We got Negro.
You're right.
We got broke niggas in the building.
They're gonna get it.
This is a white boy talking. We got broke niggers in the building. This is a white boy talking. And they're laughing and giggling at it. How? See what I mean? But you eat with these people. You sleep with these people. You have conversations that certain conversations you shouldn't be having with these people. Jesus. When are we gonna learn? When are we gonna learn?
Again, more narrative painting.
Yep.
We'll see if they will ever address what I'm
It's
saying.
causing me to have PTSD off this welfare talk.
So the rules of the show is whoever talk last got to read the super chat. So, Angry Man, you just said something. You got to read the super chat.
Deborah said, attention, please, whatever you do, do not ever get an attorney who thinks like Bracy.
Damn.
Not only that, they also are able to gang up on the super chats as well and say, hey, let's finish with the narrative painting. Shout out to Deborah.
Terrible. All right,
Yeah, I wonder why.
Marcus Antonio Castillo with $5 says, it is felony how the weapon was used. It goes up to felony. Considered homicide. Mr. Metcalf buried his son. Carmelo, be a man. Son, take the punishment. 100 with the scales. Appreciate you. And again, for anyone who is restreaming to the hit their cash app or hit their super chat.
Or his brother Hunter Metcalf, which can give Carmelo with a K a concussion, right? We could
according to who?
The size of that man, if he was there. So like, see it, right? We understand, right? She just asked according to who. I already said according to who. I said anybody that's in reason, a reasonable person in Texas. That's who. A reasonable person in Texas. That's who. I answered it within my conversation. But let's keep on going. And we all understand that Austin Metcalf, or Hunter Metcalf, is capable of giving this man bodily harm, which is considered a concussion. A concussion has already been proved, is already case, so that bodily harm considered a concussion. And so we understand who is painting narratives and who is having a conversation. We see who is actually trying to and attempting to race bait somebody into something. When I'm steadily on topic, I haven't went into anybody being black or white. I haven't went into anybody's family life. I went by what the law has said up to this point. Cases. I even said the knife. I don't think he's going to get away with the knife. A reasonable person in Texas would say that Austin Metcalf can give Carmelo a concussion. And by that definition, in Texas, you can give somebody else, you can treat that with deadly force. Simple. Connect him with fist.
Oh, that's Sharon Bracy talking.
He would be able to give him a concussion, correct? We could all agree
It's
to
possible.
that.
It's
240
possible.
pounds, that's a possibility, correct? We all could say that's reasonable.
I have a question, Sharon.
I do too.
I know, but let me finish the thought.
If you don't mind, sir, I would like to ask you a question. Just, just want to be part of the conversation there. So
There's a sucker born every year, not realizing that your ego is as big as your, well, your ego is just as small as your, yeah. You have to be special. You have to be a special person. And AM is that special. But it all depends what type of special we're talking about here.
And so, like, as we can see, that he's trying to paint it as I'm trying to overtalk the conversation when I have not been doing that. Everyone's able to talk. Angry Snowman jumped in there. Say like he jumped in there. She jumped in. Well, I apologize. Just now, DJ Witch Doctor jumping in. So again, this narrative that they are trying to paint, that I'm doing something I'm not doing, is insane. This is what they are attempting to do to Carmelo as well, because they don't think that black people should be able to stand up for anything, right, wrong, or indifferent. We cannot stand up for the degenerates, and we can't stand up for the good people as well. We stand up for George Floyd, we wrong for that. We stand up for us now. We shifting our mindset. Hey, we're gonna make sure this person is a good person. And as far as we know it, Carmelo, as we know it today, Carmelo is a good kid. And when we stand up for a good kid as well, we are wrong for that as well. They just don't believe that black folks should be standing up for themselves. Because they want to apologize on the behalf of black people to white folks. Yes, Reese, that's what they want to say. They want to say that's what we defend. That's what they keep trying to misrepresent what we are saying. And he's doing it right now. But we're going to continue because they say I'm the one that's doing something.
What you're telling me now is that if we have, let's say, a police officer that just happens to be a short guy, let's say 5'7", let's say he's, 100 and some pounds, not 200, but close to, right? And let's say he's trying to arrest a big, burly, 6'3" black man, 200 and some pounds.
So let's think about what he's trying to do here. Instead of sticking to the topic that we are having, he is now transferring it over to the law. Thank you, AR. So he's trying to paint a whole new narrative. He's trying to paint a whole new narrative. For what reason? I have no idea. Let's go. We got 200 people in the building, and we only got 80 likes. Nah, that's not acceptable. Get the likes up. For the people that is on my side, everybody that is.
But
look at that. Talking to the point, right? I'm having I'm being in good.
I'll skip too far.
Shit is really weird. Miss Jalen, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Miss J with the $2. Good day, Sharon. Good day, Miss Jalen. And Lady Anya. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And let's keep making the chat as colorful as can be.
Where the fuck did I put? Hold on.
We're going to get back into
Where the hell did I put that crap?
What you're saying to me now is that cop has the right to shoot him because he should fear for his life because that guy is much bigger than him.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What?
That's not what I'm saying, because the police officers have authority, right? So it's a completely different scenario when I think about somebody that have authority, that has the power to call backup. If he sees somebody as that tyrant, don't want to listen to commands. That's why they have women that's out there that be on the patrol by themselves, because they got backup. They have weapons. They have tasers. They have plenty of things on their person that they are legally to use, and they also have the authority to stop somebody. Unlike Austin, he does not have the authority.
But
look at that. Talking to the point, right? I'm having I didn't paint no narrative. I didn't say because of Negro peons or because of Uncle Tom's or because of Samuels. I didn't say none of all of those things. I'm being in good faith and having a conversation, even though I do not believe the question that he asked me has anything to do with this case whatsoever. I still answered the question very directly. Because the problem.
Please like, share, subscribe to the channel, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And please become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. Let's try to get some memberships up in here. Now, I found what I was looking for, by the way, but I'm trying to get to a certain point because we got other things that we need to get into, especially this Jake. There's too many. There's a lot of Jake Longs on this panel on here. There's a lot of too many Nick Fuenteses on this panel, and definitely too many Donald Trump lovers trying to get along. I get it. You pandering to your white audiences. You're pandering to your slave masters. Let's get it.
is y'all believe that somebody else is dumber than you. And time it shows that you are the dumb one.
Sharon is he wasn't trying to achieve anything. What he was trying to do is he was trying to get people to understand his point of view of the conversation when it came to this investigation, which we don't know if it's going to be a year or two or whatever. It can happen tomorrow, or it can happen in the next 6 months. We don't know when the trial's going to happen. It might not even go to trial. It might just slap them. They might just slap him with, manslaughter, saying he might get 10 years probation. We don't know. They don't care. You're right. They don't care. But in realize he's the more reasonable one. He is the only. Oh, I take that back. DJ Witch Doctor actually made some good points. DJ Witch Doctor is like on the bottom left. My left, your right. Bottom left. He made some good points. And I have to say Poppy Blanco made some good points as well. So, but what they're trying to say is not everything is the way it may look. It's like we don't have all the damn evidence. That's why everybody's phones was confiscated and everybody's statement was made. And apparently they need to check Carmelo's phone, because he might have been talking to a person we don't know. And potentially he could have been, he or she or whoever who he was talking to could be a witness. We don't know. We do not know.
Shout out to everybody that is not afraid to hit that like and that share button. Shout out to everybody that's not afraid. Whether you got 1 subscriber to 1,000 subscribers to 1,000,000 subscribers.
I'm trying to get to 2,000.
Also, I'm asking for likes and shares.
It's tough, but I enjoy it. It's tough.
What Austin did. You know what Carmelo had that he could use? His autonomy. He could have walked away.
Excuse me? That's fine, but also
autonomy.
What?
That he could
stop somebody. Unlike Austin, he does not have the authority.
But you know what Austin did? You know what Carmelo had?
Say it like I put it on Austin, saying that Austin didn't have the authority. He went straight over to Carmelo. Why is that? I have no idea. Let's see. What Carmelo
he could use?
What he could have used?
His autonomy. He could have walked away.
You hear that?
In the same way that you say that Carmelo could have had autonomy, Austin and the other kid could have had an autonomy as well, and couldn't have went to either the coach or it could have went to security and grabbed security and said he's not supposed to be underneath our tent, which wasn't assigned to anyone. And if my calculations is correct, and some sources tell me that he had already had finished a meet. He had already had finished the meet. So that he didn't have a reason to be there. He was trespassing. Is it Carmelo Anthony a track star? Oops. Yikes.
He could have walked away. But he's not going to say,
Bridget, we want to practice constraints. We want to practice some constraints. We want to count to 10. We just want to count. Of course, there's assholes. Of course, there's assholes. They're gonna be assholes because, like I said, they want to belong to somebody. They want to belong to anybody that can make them money. They want to belong to anybody that can get them to a place where, let's just say, I don't know, where Kevin Samuels used to be. Oh boy, everybody wanted to stroke Kevin Samuels in the right way, including the Saint. Saint was just talking out the side of his neck. But came to Vegas and saw this man in Vegas and started shaking his hand. Oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. Same thing with AM. AM was cool with angry. You ain't supposed to talk. You ain't supposed to talk to me that way. Get your corn muffin ass food. If he don't be careful with that, he gonna have a stroke. Just saying. Just relax, guy. Just relax. Oh, fuck that. Hold on.
Say that they could have not spoke. They could have not have spoken to him. They're not going to say that those two people, those two individuals had no autonomy whatsoever. They had to address him. Shout out to the very sexy Red TV. Thank you so much. Beautiful. I really appreciate it. Awesome content creator. Easy. It is not. Shout out to that. They have no authority to tell who and what not to be in a public track space, especially when the person is a part of the track meet itself.
You don't say.
Go ahead.
What I was gonna say, because we've been arguing the same fucking point for the last 3.5 hours, is that the guy shouldn't have been there. Period. He was from a rival school, and the tent that he was under was not from his school. Therefore,
it's a bunch of schools in there. It's at least 7 to 10 schools in there.
Let him finish his thought too. Like everybody wants to finish their thought and interrupts everybody else. Let him finish saying what he's saying. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the point of the matter is, and this is the reality, he shouldn't have been there. And they told him to leave. He didn't leave. And then he acted like a pussy, pulled the knife out and shanked the kid, and then took off running. So at the end of the day, this kid's a little pussy, and he's getting.
Okay. And so, you know, what happens often too is that people don't realize that they are repeating themselves, right? He said it like 3 times. They don't even realize that they're repeating themselves in real time because they just so emotionally involved in the conversation. And then they want to claim that everybody else is.
What Sharon would call these type of dudes they need some Tourette's. They need a Tourette's pill. Some shit.
It's wild. And this is supposedly a black man talking.
This is not a black man talking. It's not a black man. Ain't no fucking way he's a black man.
It's crazy. Who is the other person to say that he is not supposed to be there in the public space where they are at a track meet? So since when opposite teams cannot conversation, they can't converse with each other. All of a sudden, we don't. So this is CJ. That's what he said he is. CJ, that's what they say he is. I don't know if it's true or not. But that's what they said.
No. You'll find out in a little bit. And by the way, this is on Satellite, whatever's podcast. You know, this is the podcast that they're reviewing because everybody was on his podcast. Think about it. Just think about it.
There. Shout out to the Cash App. It says, "Keep your head up through adversity." Thank you so much, man. That means that's a lot. Keep your head up through adversity. We see you. Thank you. I see you as well. Thank you so much. So yeah, thank you so much. Because I know sometimes everybody don't want their names to be just wild.
Oh, my Cash App.
They're really all about.
Look, my Cash App came up there.
Shout out to We-On-Loc Neighbors. The father says, sounds like we have too many Jake lines. Jake Lanes, I'm sorry.
Sorry if I spelled the name wrong. It was supposed to be Lang, not Lanies.
It's crazy, We-On-Loc. When we just allow him to talk, this is why I do my best not to.
Else all dick with black
in the living room.
Maybe you can hold my nuts. I'll bring them to
We got big time with the
Thank you.
$5 super chat. Says being asked to leave and leave.
Stab somebody before getting up close to somebody and stabbing them. That is not pussy, you know. And I think that the guy did it in.
This is another thing that we gotta be mindful of. When people just keep trying to throw little different things, right? They try to throw little different darts in there so you could be confused and have a different conversation. Now we're gonna talk about if stabbing somebody is a tough guy or a weak guy thing. Whether that has nothing to do with the conversation. This is what they attempt to do, right? They attempt.
That had a lot of audacity going over there. He had no business being over at that press conference. It wasn't set up for him. He could have had his own press conference. That's just audacity all around the board.
So
I want to address some as well, if I can.
Let me
go in order first, Angry Man, then we'll go to Sharon. Go ahead.
So I mean, the way I feel about it, as far as the press conference, is the father was totally justified in stabbing that person for making him leave the press conference. Oh wait, he didn't stab anybody?
Nope, he sure didn't. He left willingly.
My bad. Because
he did not leave willingly. This is another white man with a false equivalence of what he is talking about. In other words, he doesn't know a motherfucking thing he's talking about. First of all, he was met by the owner of that building where they were having the press conference. The press conference was meant for the grieving of the Carmelo Anthony family because they were being doxxed. They were, the father's job was, being threatened by, unknown savages. He had to take a leave of absence from work, and it was getting very, very difficult for them. Very difficult for them because the man just got the boy just got out of I'm gonna start saying young man. The young man got out of jail with a lesser bond. If let's just say, for the sake of argument, they did pay that $1 million bond and he did get out, what would they say then? Huh? What the hell would you say then? He should be in jail. Don't make no damn sense.
And the proper authorities removed him, not just any civilian.
They didn't remove him. They asked.
But if it was a white person, you would give him the electric chair. Oh, the same ones that been oppressing, the same ones that been whooping your ass for. Well, let me be logic. We're just
doctor?
No, I'm sorry. We're just tired. We're tired. There's going to be a point in time where a threshold is called, and shouts out to E5. It's cool when y'all do it. It's evil when we do it. It's evil when we show up at the job with dress suits and a nice car with a brilliant attitude. It's like, who the hell does he think he is? He isn't dressed better than me. He can't talk more intelligent than me. Who the hell does he think he is? This is no different from Harlem Nights. For those who haven't seen Harlem Nights with Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor and a whole host of different people, they own their own nightclub, right? But on the other side of town, whites had their own nightclub. But apparently the numbers weren't looking right at the nightclub, so it's like, Let's check this black nightclub out. It's like, we have our own stuff. Why are you coming over our side? You infiltrate. So you want to take wherever I got just because your numbers ain't looking great. Same situation across the board. Same situation. I don't care what time it is, what date it is, what year it is. It's all the same thing. And we have a laundry list of people who have done better than white folks in this country. But somehow, some way, they end up disappearing and their businesses turn to shit, or they're taking over their business. And there's a reason why there's a Roscoe's Chicken. I forgot what it was. But there was a black man that came up with barbecue wings. A black man did all that. But he ended up getting tired and worrying when he came back. They trashed his business. And the same white folks that he was serving the same ingredients, somehow those same white people bought this black man's business. You cannot stand us doing great. You can't stand us doing any better than you. Sometimes I just wish you would just die off. But it'd be too much like right, because we got too many people coming on that train and eating them cheddar biscuits like a motherfucker. Just sucking up them cheddar biscuits. Them cheddar biscuits is good going down, huh? Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Great point. Again, he tried to paint a BS narrative that, the father, a grown man, by the way, right? The father's a grown man. He tried to put, again, he's trying to make them grown. He's trying to make Carmelo grown. He's trying to make Austin grown. These are not grown people. In first, this man's over 40 years old that you're trying to compare them to. And no, not a regular, everyday civilian escorted him out the building. It was the authorities that said, hey, the owner of the building said you are trespassing, so therefore you need to leave because you are not invited to this place.
Escorted him out.
The proper authority. They didn't have the proper authority to remove the kids from the tent. They didn't. Who deputized them?
Well, my bad.
Great point, DJ Witch Doctor. Let's see how he wiggles his way out. Let's see if he's going to address the point or he's going to move on to somewhere else. We're going to see who's attempting to paint narratives and who is having an honest conversation. Address the point. Let's see if he's willing to the point.
And man, I forgot, when black people are places they're not supposed to be, no one had right to tell them to leave. But when white,
do that sound like he's addressing the point, or does it sound like he's trying to race bait again? When black people's at some place and they're white people at some place, that has nothing to do with what the doctor said whatsoever.
People are places they're not supposed to be.
I think the right authority should tell you.
How did this happen? This is wild.
Yeah.
This is not me adding no spice to it. This is not me painting up. This is what happened. DJ Witch Doctor asked them, hey, do those boys have the thing? Why didn't the Metcalf brothers go get the proper authorities to remove the young man out of the place? And what he did, I get it. He painted a fake narrative. Black people go somewhere. I know what you N-words are trying to do. And then, but when white people get there, you are race baiting.
Did anybody get? Did anybody get this? Did anybody get it? Anybody get it? I mean, we all got it. I guess I'm gonna move.
You did not address the point.
Hold on a second.
It's disgusting.
Hold on. Let's get to this white man. Let's
so Carmelo was invited to the track.
No, let's listen to this white boy speak real quick.
It's a slew of things that do not make sense.
Opinions on the panel, right? I think it is absolutely disgusting that all of you Negroes have grew up learning about the civil rights movement, talking about systematic oppression, talking about systematic racism, talking about how horrible it is the way black people were treated back in the day, how white folks had white privilege, all of the movies you watched where you felt outraged, Mississippi Burning, Rosewood, all of this shit, only for you niggas to show your own version of white supremacy today. It's disgusting.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
If that is the case, if you feel that way, and he has every right to feel this way, then who do we get this from? It would feel so outraged, and there were flash mobs all everywhere, and just destroying every black man in sight, killing and raping and pillaging, plundering, and just tearing the manhoods off of black men and ripping your babies out of their stomachs. Why can we not do the exact same thing to these people? Oh, because we're living real good and we can overcome. We can overcome these things. Yeah, while they're ripping the babies out of your woman's stomachs. Yeah, great. And using your baby and bashing your babies and using your boot heels so they can save bullets. Yeah, you're real. Yeah, you're real powerful now. I would love to see Angry Man in a situation where flash mobs. Come do it could be anywhere. It could be anywhere in the world. It could be in any country. He ain't shit in Africa. He wouldn't be shit in Africa. Try fucking with them people over there. Try fucking with them people in Saudi Arabia. He would get tore up. He has it good here because he's getting his head patted. This is a stupid comment.
Yeah, I heard him. Y'all heard him?
Uh-huh.
Instead of looking at it as
a wake up call in
people
enough.
just want the young man to be treated according to law. And so far, address anything under a tent is insane. No, it was when we go to track meets, football games, basketball games, people intermingle with each other, even with the opposite team. They go shake hands, they say what's up, they slap fives, they talk. It is not, he was not at a place where he wasn't supposed to be. That part we got to stop adding that into the conversation. And these kids show that they don't have no personal space, right? So he sat down somewhere in the corner. They approached him. Then they attempt to grab his bag. He said, give me my, all this back and forth that they had. And we understand also with the information that we had is one-sided. That is for the prosecutor side. We didn't hear the other side yet. So we got to make sure we understand that the information that we are dissecting is only from one side of the argument. And number two, the father, he also shown that he don't show no personal space. He wasn't necessarily up in the parents' face to face, but however, he was all up in their face emotionally. So he don't have no idea what personal space is. This is why the parents, they use the right authority to get him out of it, because if the father himself, the father went to say, hey, you need to leave, we know it probably would have turned out a little bit more heated. It wouldn't have been just a walkout. He needed about 5, 6, 7, 8 officers to escort him out.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to stop you right there. Are you done with the cap? Are you done with the cap? Because that entire speech or that entire sentence he just said was complete and utter bullshit.
Let's see. It was complete and utter BS. Let's see if he actually addressed anything I say.
The Jake Long wannabes.
And have a rebuttal for what I say, or he's just gonna disrespect what I said. Let's see. Let's see if he actually says something that
is that Hitler?
That is opposite of what I'm saying, or somewhere where he could disprove what I'm saying. Any of those things. Is he gonna address anything that I said besides calling it BS? Let's see. We're gonna find out. Good day, Maya Reed.
It was up.
Sorry, it's taking me so long, but this is getting too good.
Public event. It was a public press conference, and then the moment the father showed up, they turned it into a private. When are you gonna stop lying, bro? Because I'm calling that.
Really quick.
Okay, wait.
Yes, it was.
So again, I already addressed that. I addressed that. The parents didn't feel like he was supposed to be there. The owner of the building felt like he wasn't supposed to be there. The reason why the police was there in the first place because they know possibly things can happen. And so therefore, they told the police, hey, can you please escort this man off of property? So they did the proper conflict resolution.
I myself don't practice conflict resolution. I practice physical force. You don't want to move, I'll move you. But, you know, even the Black Panthers had restraint. So I need the counselor. I need Bridget, can you counsel me? Helen, can you counsel me? I need counseling. I need a woman's touch. I need for somebody to bring me balance. Too many men on men talk. I need a woman to balance me.
That's what happened. He did not have a right to be there. He should not be in conversation with this family at all. Because the energy that you are bringing to anything that they are doing is going to be deemed as aggressive because of what happened between the two families. It's crazy.
Wait, they already got it. They already got a Carmelo Anthony theme song. You ain't heard it?
I heard they do. That's crazy work too.
I heard that.
I hate shows.
Yeah.
Oh my!
It's your turn. It's not the show. Damn it, wins.
It's a serious topic. God damn it! We need to have a real conversation about it.
I don't want to have to drop everybody down so I can speak, but I swear to God on Jesus, I will drop y'all down this Resurrection Sunday. But okay, the same way that y'all feel like Carmelo Anthony had the right to be wherever the fuck he wanted to be, and then nobody have nothing. I might want my solo screen too. The hell y'all think? It's in his hands. It's in his hands.
I'm sorry.
These young men had no authority.
But the public venue that the Super Afro Action Negro Network was at belonged to them.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, he had every right. What I'm saying is that he had every right to sit down where he sat down at, and those boys had no right to approach him to force him off of a public property, off a public place that he's supposed to be at, that he signed up and he was in a race. He was a part of the event.
Father had
the other two.
And the father had every right to be at that press conference because the same way that Carmelo was part of the race, his son got killed by them.
Yeah, but he wasn't invited to this press conference, and the law.
He didn't need to.
The
He didn't need to. It was public.
The authorities at the building, they deemed that he wasn't supposed to be there neither, so they escorted him out. So regardless if you feel like he's supposed to be there, the authorities, the proper authorities,
Actually, the owner of the property had him trespassed. That's what really
Playing
happened.
Angry Man and Sharon. Everybody stay out of it.
It was a public place. And I got news for you, Sharon. I don't know about you, but if the parents of the child that stabbed my son and put him in the ground is doing a press conference to play the victim, you damn skippy, I'm showing up there. In fact, I feel like...
So, first of all, he said to have a press conference to play a victim. Again, narrative painting. With the narrative painting. If we were separate, please.
Everybody on everything?
Personal space. I don't know what's the problem. But no, you need to respect people's personal space and their emotional space. That was for those people to have a conversation to address the press. It had nothing to do with that far. They was not even addressing the actual case or addressing anything about a fallen child.
Wait, hang on.
See, and again, like you can see that clearly they are not listening to me at all, right? They don't really want. They just waiting for me to take a breather and a break of a word so that they could just interrupt and just say whatever they want to say. They are not having a conversation with me at all. Waiting to respond.
Yeah, all of a sudden they believe. Yeah, all of a sudden they believe in all, and they believe in the law. And this is the reason why I haven't said much in the past 3 minutes. I haven't said anything. I just let this shit ride, and they're just burying themselves a little bit more. They just keep burying themselves and burying yourself. It was just, I'm showing up to that prep. It was like, what are you trying to prove, or what are you trying to achieve? You're trying to prove the same narrative that you're trying to prove the exact same thing that Martin Luther King tried years ago. And it's like, we live in a fair society. What's fair is fair. Fair is a place where they judge pigs. Where has society ever been fair to black people? I'll wait. And there's a big laundry list. What was that? What was that? Oh, there is a fair society. Oh, where is it? Because I want to be there. Where is it where we're equal, where we are equal in distributions? Where are our schools? Where are our networks? Where are our distributions? Where are our grocery stores? Where are our schools? I thought we were supposed to be going to school to be competitive. But you hate for a black man, a black man, not a black woman, but a black man, to be competitive with the oppressor. And so you're going to move goalposts. You're going to do whatever you have to do to make sure that he is not, if equal, above you. And that's why we have all these particular people coming in the United States and just buying properties left and right. And your name is not on it. But we got businesses. I never said that we didn't have businesses, but it's kind of hard to find those businesses. It's not like we have a Chinatown or a black town. We got a Chinatown. Do you know how big Chinatown is? I'm just saying, let's be fair. Let's be competitive. No, it's too much like rape. It's white, and I say so.
That is it.
Press conference.
Or you're gonna hang on to two people in the middle
I'm trying not to pop the fuck off. Yeah, damn, it's two people in the middle. They got it.
Ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Sharon, you old enough. You probably seen the movie. Back in the day, A Time to Kill. Did you cheer for Samuel L. Jackson when he busted up?
What do a movie got to do with me and your conversation?
Exactly.
What?
And guess what? Yes, I did cheer. I did cheer when Samuel Jackson came up with that AR and blasted the two white people that raped his daughter. It was a movie, but it was based on a true story. But you damn right. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Why are we talking about a movie? This is when you know they don't have no argument. They have no legs to stand on. Now we are talking about a movie. Now we are talking about a movie.
But I got an even better movie than A Time to Kill. How about God dang it, I had it in my mouth. God damn it. Birth of a Nation. Birth of a Nation, I loved. It was directed by Nate Parker. He played a preacher that turned revolutionary and killed not only the men, not only the slave masters, but the slave masters' women and the children. Oh, if it were today. Oh, how free we would be. And he played old Nat Turner. Nat Turner came and he had that axe. He looked at that white man. Tear their head off. And they reigned for months until we had people like that go ahead and snitch on us. And that was the end. But there were people that did it way better than Nat Turner. But we won't get into that.
Well, we are talking about a real life situation. We don't need any extra. We don't need to add any metaphors. We don't need to add any movies. Conversation about what happened. Not all these other people in here. It's okay. Have a conversation with me. You want to address one of the Negro peons. The Negro peon is here. Don't try to move it. We don't need no hypothetical conversation.
I know he lying. That's how I know he's seen that movie, because he know the point.
I do not know the point you're trying to make. What I'm trying to do is get you to have the conversation with me.
You know the point I'm about to make. You know what? I'm starting to realize why you niggas pile up on panels instead of coming to my show for the smoke you got with me.
I be in your channel and I talk to you all the time. So don't even do that. You don't drop the link. That look, I'm going by the words that he is saying, right? That day. Don't drop it that often, but when you do it, I will hit the link. Right. So now go ahead and make your point, but I did not see the movie.
I don't like to converse that much with Negro peons. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, to everybody up here, every last one of these Negroes cheered. Every one of them cheered when Samuel L. Jackson busted up in that courtroom.
Damn right, they deserve to die. And I hope they burn in hell.
All right.
What was your point? What's your point? Black and proud. What was the point? Bridge, does anybody know what the point was of that? Does anybody know? Does anybody know what the point they were trying to? I don't know what the point is. Okay, you're going based off movies. Okay. Everybody cheered When Samuel Jackson fired off his head, they deserve to die. I hope they burn in hell. And he got off. So, what's your point? His daughter was great and beaten almost to death and urinated on. What if that was your daughter, asshole? Distraction tactics. Don't you just love those distraction tactics and people up there? Let me get up there. Ain't gonna be no panel. They'll immediately boot me off. That makes no sense.
Like in real time, it's like
it happened in real life too, Sharon.
So, and there you go. Some more dishonesty, right? So what you were talking about was something that happened in the movie. You was not talking about what a real case was. I don't understand how this is possible.
Prolific closing statement that has ever happened.
Man wasn't even there. So, Sharon, go ahead. Jesus, diarrhea of the fucking mouth. I love you, little nigga. But wait. Go ahead, Sharon.
Big time. Two white twins were. I'm not sure what that had to do with this case. What he was trying to do, he was trying to intimidate that family.
But in your mind, a kid going over to another report. Okay, I get that you Negroes see there's a commonality between you and the other Negroes that was over there on that 20B1 panel. Y'all don't know how to have a conversation.
Whoever is the
because you want to dictate to people. See, that's how I know you don't really want to have the conversation. Because you want to stand up on the podium like Dr. Martin Luther King and just yell what you want to say at people, and they don't get to respond to you.
Right? No, just important.
Mind you, I didn't yell yet.
It's too much like white. Yep.
This whole time we all been watching all the things that he's crazy. And also, we are walking down the conversation and where we disagree at. And right now, at this moment, we are disagreeing on this young kid having a knife, purposely sitting in under their tent to try to entice a fight. That is not what I understand for to happen. So, mind you, I'm trying to redirect it back into the conversation that we are attempting to have on. He's going to let the redirection happen, or is he going to keep on talking about what happened to him and he's going to play victim?
In this conversation, you're going to argue that those two
now you want to tell me what I'm going to argue.
Twins shouldn't have prohibited Carmelo from going in that tent, but you gonna sit your ass right here and prohibit the way I talk.
I'm not doing that. What I'm telling you is my argument. My argument.
And just accept the fact that I'm saying y'all and stop.
Now he's the victim. Now all of a sudden this Negro's the victim. Ain't that about a bitch? Ain't a pet we weave. I'm sorry, y'all. I do apologize. I might have to make a part 2. Because this is some Negro peeing shit. This just is. I mean, when I first Bridge, you were there. When I first heard this, I'm like, what is this? Is this a panel for the decent human beings that can can speak with logic, or we just all over the place and we just all about our feelings and not facts? Ain't that the slogan nowadays? Fuck your feelings. It's all about facts. People don't stick to the facts. Don't let the facts cloud your judgment, because there have been multiple reviews since that day. Because they had to take everybody's statement. Because I'm trying to wonder and realize that me and Auntie, we had a discussion about this. I said, what happened to all the other people that were in attendance? I mean, they could have prevented this, but apparently they didn't. Apparently they let this white boy go ahead and just possibly, maybe pummel the shit out of him or whatever. And I wouldn't be surprised if Carmelo took a swung and missed. He didn't fight. He didn't use his fist. He probably didn't. He just swung and missed. Feelings and emotions. You got that shit right.
That's what you're doing.
I'm not. So make your point, because I'm not understanding what you're saying now.
Oh, thank you. Now I can have a conversation with you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Me, I'm not understanding what you're saying.
But y'all love imposing shit on other people. Like just like how you're sitting here right now telling me don't say y'all. Nigga, you can't tell me how to fucking talk.
Just like how he can't say, hey, the father wasn't allowed at a public event. Like who the
Look at the cracker down below. Look at the cracker down below. He just commenting on whatever he wants to comment on. Him and Angry Man belong together. Go ahead.
Fuck are you?
But the problem is that the authorities thought otherwise. So y'all just talking just to be
no.
talking.
The authorities they trespassed him, Sharon. He was trespassed.
The authorities escorted the man out. We cannot say that this young man that went down to sit down somewhere.
He was
trespassed.
trespassed.
The right to say
Why
no.
are you overlooking the freaking fact that he was trespassed?
Trespass him to make him leave. It was advertised as a public event. If that man came there and just stood there, if he wasn't yelling at nobody, if he wasn't causing a disturbance,
if it was a big of a deal, again, he could have got his white ass out and then called the fucking authorities if that was the case. Or he could have called security, or he could have got with his coach. That was their school. If he were trespassing, but he was participating in an event. You just hear what you want to hear because you're afraid that this white boy is going to absolutely out you. You ain't nothing but a fucking follower. That's what these people are.
He wasn't trying to fight nobody. He wasn't doing anything.
That's not true.
Funny thing about it is, this is the funny thing about it. Y'all don't even
what
really.
you're saying is not true again, right? So his presence is doing something because he's a. If we just do your hypotheticals, right? If my son did something to your son that egregious and you show up, it is no way I'm thinking that you just coming to talk to me. We all understand that.
You can't.
I'm not here to say that this man was just peaceful by being there.
Ron, check this out, bro.
We know that.
We know that already.
We know it.
Get back to it because I do want to hear from Fantastic as well. The only court
stuff into their own hand. That wasn't the twins' property. They didn't own the tent or the track meet.
I agree.
DJ Witch Doctor, if you and your homies is somewhere chilling, whether you in public or wherever, right?
Things that are wrong for doing
thing, and you make this,
the first one that approached the young man.
We didn't.
Carmelo with just they be doing what?
Not the twins.
Oh,
the twins.
Okay, wait, pause. Before we continue the conversation, let's go to the police report, right? Because that's going to clear up.
The first one that approached the young man.
We did.
Pull it up. What, bro, I'm talking.
Statement from the.
And I understand that we understand where we getting the report from. So in this situation,
there are multiple police reports.
So let's look at.
Is this agreeing with information that we?
No, every time he finishes, he just says some dumb shit. Get him out of here. Like there's no way.
And look, Angry Man laughing, even though they are the ones saying the dumb stuff. It ain't me.
But you went up there.
This is wild.
You went up there.
This is wild that this happened in real time. And then
you went up there.
I don't get it.
which is insane. But
This is crazy to me.
You wanted to prove something.
Tell her he said he was. I'm gonna leave it alone.
What did he say?
This is wild.
Hold on. Oh, I think I passed it.
This is wild that this happened in real time. And then
hold on, I passed
Angry Man laughed like I don't get it.
Angry Man, he is pandering.
This is crazy to me. When I've been keeping my composure.
He's pandering.
Wait, he can be this retarded.
No, that word you will not use. But
Sorry,
even more
special
so,
needs. Special needs.
Masaru can be booted. I'm just letting, Masaru can be booted. I just want everybody to know that. This black man, let me make this very clear. This black man can be booted.
He ain't black to me. Try again. Try again.
Leave it alone. I vote it is stupidity. Or talk to me while I'm talking.
Them little slick ass fucking comments. Fuck you, nigga.
There you go.
That is absolutely not true.
So words almost universally.
Is that part of the conversation?
Yes, it is.
Nah, it wasn't.
Hey, yo, I gotta bounce real quick, but all I got is
a saint just because you want the little black boy to get off.
Angry Man, please.
Bro. Now he want to be Sharon too. So is the problem?
Oh, man, fuck you. Fuck you and every nigga that look like you. How about that?
Look, now we're going into insults. Now we're going into insults, right? While I'm talking, I did not insult him yet.
Not yet. But what you said was brilliant.
Anytime I start talking, I get at least 3-4 people trying to talk to me while I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
Now we starting to understand what's really happening. Let's rewind it. So,
trying to make this little nigga a saint just because you want this little nigga a saint. Them little slick ass fucking comments. Fuck you, nigga.
Yeah, I know. It's because you mad because I look black and you don't. I get it.
So at least he's not an ape like you.
And look, he let him say. You heard what he said in the back? He said, "At least he don't look like an ape like you." This is what they.
I heard.
That's what he said.
I heard this white boy. I heard the white boy. Yeah. You got your card today.
Absolutely.
He said, Sharon said, you just mad because I look blacker than you. That's funny. That's just so funny. He said, he's just mad because I'm blacker than you. Oh,
Jay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, then they let this Muru guy. Ego said, "What? Now I look like a monkey. Now I look like a monkey." That's crazy.
Them little slick ass fucking comments. Fuck you, nigga.
Yeah, I know. It's because you mad because I look black and you don't. I get it. So
at least he's not an ape like you.
I don't give a fuck, nigga, about none of that little slick shit. You a black supremacist, nigga, which I find to be interesting considering your situation.
What situation y'all think he talking about?
Now it gets personal. Just like me. Now you can't fight me. You can't fight my intellect. I'm winning the battle because I might as well win the war too. And the only way you can give me is to throw insults my way and, throw shots here and there. It's like, oh. I mean, I can go there, but we're trying to invade some good dialogue and some logical intellect. But that went out the window. With him, Sharon all he did was just tap you right upside your head, and you oh he hit me. That's AM all day. He hit me. Get your corn muffin. Let me stop.
I wonder what situation y'all think he talking about. Again, cannot stick to a topic. Now it's FB and all this now according to y'all situation.
I don't know. I don't know. But I told you.
This is crazy. We-On-Loc, this is wild.
Hey.
Ugly, insane.
Hey.
They allowed this man to call me an ape, for God's sake.
And you allowed
then
it.
Now this man want to bring up my situation.
You allowed it. So there.
Hey, touch me, blase blah. Punch me, blase blah. And then so when he grabbed him aggressively.
All right, I had enough. I totally had enough. But let me get to here. I'll do the let's see. I'll just do this for right now because we just went past 2 hours with some good content right there. And I definitely want to thank Trish for stopping by. But this is what we fight. This is what we fight. We're going against two battles. Fighting white supremacy and fighting coonery. I guess I can play. You've probably seen this before, but this is who we fight. Fight for. I just want to show you an example. This is who we fight for.
They reached out to Jeff?
They did not.
They didn't even reach out.
Have not spoke to him under no circumstances.
Wow. Okay.
So when I do this interview, that's what I'm going to. This is my organization. I see it. I travel across the country.
This is who we fight for, right here. This white boy right here. This is who we fight.
Violence in black communities.
Thank you. I stand with you, sir.
On a regular basis. But today, I'm here on behalf of the father, Jeff Macon.
Okay.
And what he's asking you is to not use his son's image or likeness in what you're doing. You do what you do, but that's not what he wants his son tied to.
Okay.
Out of respect for that family.
Now, I would ask Jeff Metcalf if he would be bold enough to act like a father of a deceased young man that was murdered instead of being somebody suppressed, worried that he's going to spark the next race riots or some type of thing. He needs to stand for righteousness, not for the consequences of righteous actions always need to be taken seriously. He needs to be righteous before he is fearful. He is acting out of fear, not out of righteousness. He should have been on the top of the bus today. He should have been standing shoulder to shoulder.
Are you a father?
No, I'm not.
I'm a father.
Amen.
I'm a father. As a father, there is something called grief. So let me tell you what's going on in his house. He's getting swatted. His only other son.
Who is swatting him? Which community?
No, we don't know the community, but it's happening. That's on the police to find. Secondly, he has a son who's a twin, who his son died in his arms. So that means he needs to navigate that. Then his son, his only son, is getting death threats. So as a father, his hands is full. So the last thing he wants to be tied to is having this complex of race. So yes, this is bad. Young black men are getting every day by young black across this country.
I'm not a member of that community. I'm a member of my community. My community is being victimized by the community of violent black.
But here's the problem.
We're degenerates.
When you stand up in the name of God, there's one body. If you're not a part of that body,
I can read statistics. I'm also a pragmatic human being. So I understand when there's a problem, it needs to be addressed head on. If you tiptoe around a problem, that's how you get to the end result.
So your biggest concern is the loss of white life by black.
No,
Is that what you're saying?
I have.
It's just a repeat pattern. It doesn't stop. It just keeps going on and on and on and on. And we just can't ignore it any longer. It is. If it stops, we're good.
So let me answer that question. Do you believe more white people are killed by white people or by black people?
Listen, by strangers, it's 2 to 1. Every single race in domestic issues, because we live amongst each other, and uncles kill uncles or drunk at barbecues and stuff like that. It's always now.
So your response is that your response that Mr. Metcalf needs to get on your bus and tell people that his son was killed, but he's not you. So what I'm saying is,
I'm somebody that stands for what I believe in, and I don't cower when it's time to stand.
If your desire,
it's because my desire is that another Austin Metcalf does not happen next week. Like, if I was his father, I would stand righteously to say, yes, but I'm a man.
We all have common sense.
We know for his father.
Hold on, we know.
No, I'm speaking for white men in this country.
Are you a father? Are you a father?
Are you a father? Hold on one second.
Are you a father?
I'm not. But listen.
Okay, so when I talk to non-fathers who are not dealing with grief, you've talked for an hour. So if you want to address, I can give you after I give this message. The bottom line is this. You have a father that's out of respect asking you, not son's face in the place. How do you say you're going to represent people when you can't respect the will of the people?
Let me respond, guys. There's too much peanut gallery.
That's not what his father said. His father did not say that.
Can we please let me respond?
So you
believe I'm having a conversation with you and I. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Austin Metcalf is no longer Austin Metcalf. He is a symbol. He is a symbol of young white people being predatorized and victimized. Every single fear is living. People in this country are living in fear. Austin Metcalf is no longer
Jeff, hold on, Jeff. Do me one favor, because there seems to be an issue that you're okay with Austin's name being plastered with this particular movement. Now, I've already addressed that. So now I want you to say one more time that do you agree with your son's name and face being attached to this movement?
Hey, Jeff Metcalf, this is Jake Lang here. I wanted to talk to you, not be led into a question. This is a legal argument. It's called leading.
Do you agree with your son?
Can I have a conversation with you?
No, because you could have called him before that. You could have called him.
I'm reaching out. I'm one of the biggest figures in America.
Jeff,
Nobody's ever.
I've given you a message. I've given you your message. And here's the
all
response.
Family members, everybody I could find.
I've given you your message, and here's the response.
You've not given my message.
This guy said
your message.
What he said was this. What he said was this. He said that you, as a father, should be on the bus with him, delivering the message he's delivering. Unfortunately, he's not a father, and the gentleman with it is not a father. Maybe they don't understand what loss is. But I've given your message, and they thought that it wasn't your message.
Let me have 1 minute of my message
Call
to
him.
Jeff Metcalf.
Call him.
Okay, what's his number?
He's on the phone right now.
So, Jeff, do you? Huh?
This is not a good faith discussion.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead, Jake.
Hey, Jeff, it's Jake Lang here. In your hands, I would be in my position, not even as somebody even knew your son, but somebody that shares the same understanding. I grew up as a 17-year-old young white man too, and I grew up in fear of my life around black people because they were killing and robbing people around me all the time. And I don't understand, as I was a father, you could sit idly by and not condemn the culture that killed your son. There is an epidemic problem in this country, and your voice could be one of the loudest voices in this country, but you've chosen to recoil out of fear and continue the suppression. Why will you not stand with me and with the rest of the people? We're not calling for racial divide. We're not calling for hatred. We're saying 350,000 attacks on white people by black people a year in this country is wrong. Why can't you stand that and say with that? Maybe you can. Would you be willing to stand by me in a press conference or in an individual interview and talk about this issue that is larger than Austin at this point? God rest the beautiful young man's soul that would have been one of our strongest voices if he was still alive today. Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, my turn to speak. You are part of the fucking problem, my friend. You're trying to create more race divide than bridging the gap. I do not condone anything you do. You do not have any fucking...
That's called white guilt.
No, let it talk.
My son, let me finish. I'm giving you time. You take my son's face off your website. I am not associated with you.
You're creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness, sir. You are creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness.
You are being weak. I gotta be honest with you about that, sir.
You're being weak. Condemn your son's killer and the culture that caused it.
Hey, Jeff.
That's the problem. You've been submitted.
Hold on, hey, Jeff.
This is what yeah, we gotta unfortunately we gotta put this thing to a halt. But this is what you sign up for. This is who you pick to be your representative. By standing by and supporting a person. Now, we have addressed that Austin was a tragedy. But again, you learn not to put your hands on the wrong, you don't put your hands on the wrong person this time. We didn't want anybody. I didn't want anybody to get murdered. Did anybody want anybody to get murdered? But unfortunately, y'all haven't learned y'all lesson. You haven't learned your lesson at all. So we're gonna do a part 2 of this sometime tomorrow. And we're gonna get to the whole Jason Whitlock situation. And I want you to lock in and dissect this Jason Finasco. You really had a white supremacist on your channel. Is nearly justifying all these things about black folks. But see, here's the thing about Jake Long. Jake Long wants black people to be soft, God-fearing as if I am your God. And this is the reason why you fear me. You know, if your God is white, then obviously the people that you associate, or the people that claim to be your boss, or the police officer that pulls you over every day, the people that you fear is your God. Toby, they pat you on the head. Toby, good job, Toby. We have no Kuta Kentes, and we damn sure do not have no Shaka Zulus. Shaka Zulu was a warrior. Nat Turner was a warrior. It's like we afraid to die. If I was there, and this is Texas, if I was there, I'd be causing chaos all over. Hell, it was only 12 people, and they were already causing chaos. White people were already causing chaos. But I'm going to dissect all that crap tomorrow. Right now, I got to deal with the real world. And I want to thank y'all for coming by and supporting your boy, We-On-Loc, We-On-Loc Nation. Sharon, salute to you. We need to talk a little bit more. But like I said, I will have Thursday, I will definitely be having a conversation with some police officers about some actual real shit. All right. I digress. Godspeed. Peace. See you later, Bridge.